Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Space 2. I just realized, just this moment actually, that I do a little hand gesture every time I say hello viewers. I've probably been doing this for 18 months, and just now I realized nobody else can... Okay. Look, some things went wrong last time, and I think mostly what went wrong is that I refused to focus. So, I think what we're going to do this game is, first of all, we're going to try to play a little bit more aggressively. Partially because I don't feel that I have a great grasp on that part of the game yet. I think our economic knowledge has come along, our killing people knowledge not so much. So, is there a thing here where I can just view all the laws? There's a button for that somewhere, isn't there? Maybe I can only do it during elections. I'm pretty sure there's a law in the militarist party that allows you to get science for blowing up enemy ships, I believe. Maybe that's what we should do. Instead of trying to participate in delving into the bottom tier of the science tree really deep and building all the science buildings, maybe we should just like really lean into the military stuff and take all our resources from the corpses of our enemies. That sounds fun, right? So what is our approval level right now is 55%. A jump to 75% is a tier change, so let's hit this. I'm right about that, right? Yeah, okay, we went up to loyal. Alright, and let's have a look at our starting system. So we started with a Terran temperate fertile planet, you know how that is. We also have a hot fertile jungle. It's not too bad. That's not a bad world. Yeah, okay. And we have a couple of anomalies here. Just two, though. So let's do the thing we always do. Try to get some early XP on Dmitry Lenko here. And since there's only two anomalies, it doesn't really matter what types they are. We just search them. So we got some Transvine and some Hyperion. We know how this works. And then we're gonna... swap the probe modules here. Wait, no. Save that design. Okay, in the hopes that we will find a new probable world like right away. And actually, maybe I should... You know what, since we can't move anymore anyway, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna fire probes down our star lanes, and then I'm gonna swap the design back to get my probes back. There really ought to just be a button, because this is a very sensible thing, right, in world. And I don't think it's, like, crazy overpowered. There should just be a button when you're at a friendly system that reprobulates your probe ships. That's a pretty reasonable thing to want to do, I think. I do think, though, that we want to pick up xenobiology. We don't want to be taking 100 turns per science, especially if we're going to try to get involved in some combat. We're going to need a lot of techs, because we're going to need to pick up new ship hulls and new ship modules. Alright, well, I think it behooves us to go this way. We have 3 curiosities for exploration here. I guess I didn't actually check, but I just assumed that 2 worlds with curiosities would be better than 1. But it actually could have been 1 and 1, and then 3 on 1 world here, right? So that was not actually a safe assumption. Okay. So we have not found another habitable system yet. That makes me a little nervous. It would be... Okay, he stopped, so we can click around a little bit. I'm gonna go this way, I think. I don't really want to, yeah, I don't really want to settle, like, way out here. So what are these world types, though? These are ice and snow, lava and ash, desert and ash. Okay. We're probably going to have to do a little bit of science to be able to pick up our, second system, it looks like, which is kind of a bummer. So this is atmospheric, life form, and atmospheric. Well, the life form curiosity has in the past tended to have a pretty okay chance of being a point of population. So I think let's hit that first. It was Red Sang. That's not great. And then I guess it doesn't really matter which of the atmospherics we hit. Okay, that's a great anomaly, and 25 influence is maybe better for us than it is for anybody else. So, like, I'm a little torn on this. No, there's no way that an influence per citizen is better than food and industry, right? What's the conversion rate? Did we figure this out? 451. Yeah, so a point of industry is much better at building a building than a point of influence as well. Okay, so we definitely pick this up. In addition, the food is helpful. Obviously, we need food. So what's our guy at? He is at 6 of 40. So the next search is not actually going to get him a level. I'm wondering if it's better to just pull him back right now. Like, we want to get this going as quickly as possible. Oh, right. 10 turns. Well, I guess he's sitting and waiting. Somebody said in the comments, I believe, at the beginning of last game, that it's better with these guys to just have your hero sit on the world. He can contribute right away. That's totally sensible. That might be the case. But this is me learning slowly. Listen, if you have the time, if you can afford to learn slowly, that's probably the best way to do it. There are a lot of benefits to learning slowly. Okay, geothermic activity, and science based on destroyed ships. This plays into our thing. Hold on a second. Let's go look at that. So, science from scrap is long, short, short, and we get 5 science for each destroyed command point. That's not a huge amount of science, but it's not nothing either. I basically never use revive and rebuild. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and swap this in right now. Why not? All right, so we did some stuff here. Last time we took the outpost on Trader's Reach, it turned out not to be very good. Why don't we try this? It's not that hard to get up to 800 manpower stock. What's our cap right now? Our manpower capacity? 375. But we can get there, I think. And all your ships deal 10% more damage for the entire rest of the game. Seems like it's something that's tough to replace, you know. So you can see you guys are headed this way. It's not until turn 10 that we can pull back Dimitri, which means he's going to miss the finishing of this. Yeah, I'm coming around to the idea that maybe it's right to just... Well, but you want him to get the XP, though. I don't know. I'm sure there's a perfectly good reason to keep him on the world. So let's focus on industry and food in the beginning, even though that is a strategy that has recently not been that effective. Well, that's annoying. I was really hoping for a system. One of our probes found Taurus. It's not bad. It's real cold, though. Alright, so... Ash Desert... snow, ice. Snow and ice are both inconvenient, right? Which one is snow? Okay, snow is here. That's not so bad, actually. Although, I don't really love... What does this module do? That's not a bad module. It gives movement points to the fleet, so only one ship has to be equipped with that. Meanwhile, Ash is right here. And we definitely want to climb this anyway, like... That's a lot of turns, but... It gets us 2 worlds, doesn't it? We have an Ash in our home system as well. A pretty good Ash, too. Yeah, okay, atmospheric filtration. It shouldn't actually be 11 turns, because we're gonna, you know, weave some stuff in. Actually, we might want to focus on this, just to try to push us along. So if we're gonna settle Ash, I guess we can just have our colony ship come back and wait. This is not totally ideal, but it's good to have games where things are not totally ideal. It helps you in the long run. You gotta get used to playing under crummy conditions, and then when you have a game where everything's great, you'll totally blow it out of the what do you call it? Out of the water. That's the thing that people usually say. Okay, Remnant. That's a point of industry, I suppose. It's not awesome. A point of industry is not a very large increase in our capacity to do stuff. All right, it's next turn. Next turn he's reassignable. I kind of wonder. Maybe this is dumb, but I'm gonna not finish this until he's over here. And this is going to cost us a little bit of build time, but it's also going to be a significant amount of XP for him. And him leveling up, hitting his next level faster, may gain us enough build time that it's worthwhile. Possibly. Alright, so grab him. Swap this down. You, I guess, just get to go this way. Yeah, I don't know. We have to pick a direction, and this is the direction I'm picking. Alright, yes, that was enough XP for another level right there. And then he's 5 more industry and 5 more food on the system. And we've met Horatio somehow. Content. Where did we? Oh, he's flown right into our system. So Horatio's over here somewhere. That's maybe okay. I don't think I remember his ships being particularly good, so that might work out just fine for us. All right, so in 3 turns we'll have much better science. That'll cut some turns off of atmospheric filtration, which will hopefully be enough to get us a couple of good worlds. All right, what do we got here? Ooh, a lot of stuff. So I'm going to try to put off these atmospherics for the moment. Don't see any ruins or anything. So what do we got? Lifeform, subterranean, and signal. Well, subterranean is almost certainly a resource deposit. It almost always is. So let's try lifeform and signal right now. Okay, the lifeform was some transvine, and the signal was another point of population. Pulsos. Okay, that's not bad. We are definitely going to trade 100 of our science for a technology. I think that's a very good thing to do right now. So, the Pulsos particularly like worlds that have anomalies. We are about to pick one up. So we should try to make sure that we swap them over to here, right? Don't you attack me. Actually, I'm gonna go back home. Because I don't trust him to behave like a gentleman. Maybe this is profiling, but I find it difficult to trust people whose heads are that shape. Alright, it doesn't feel great to just be sitting here waiting, but I think sitting here waiting is the thing. I don't know, I'm probably doing this wrong. We have quite a bit of influence. But I don't know what, like... What is the best way to make use of it? Okay, we're going to have access to Transvine at some point. Where's the Transvine? It's on the jungle. So picking up system improvement early would allow us to maybe not need to hold this law. Because honestly, our law slots are like pretty valuable. Yeah, I'm wondering if we maybe just pick up like multi-thread management, have 2 buyout methods, and then also the intergalactic supermarket, and that way allow us to upgrade our systems really quickly, and then head back over to, I don't know, everywhere, I guess. It's kind of tricky, war, because you sort of want to be in all 4 of the tiers, right? Like, you want industry stuff, and you need science, and you need ship hulls, and you need modules. I'm not sure what the best way to go about this is. I suppose it doesn't really, like, I don't have to worry about it so much right now. Alright, so let's search the other non-atmospheric thing, and then we're probably just going to sit here and chill for a little bit and see if the Academy, finding the Academy quest starts up. And if it does, we can drop a couple of probes real fast and hopefully get some completion rewards. It only takes 1 move to get over here, right? Yeah. So we can just stay put until next turn. So we can buy this right now and start on a new tack this turn. Actually, we definitely want to do that, right? Because that means that I can just settle the world. That gets my colony started a turn sooner. Yeah, that's got to be right. So is it Astrofinance or like... Let's pick up multi-thread management. I think that's right. We do want access to the marketplace, but I don't think we need it before we need the dust from the Wonder. And then we drop the colony. We're going to need food buildings, though. That's real bad. Doubling this, it almost feels like it doesn't matter, right? What's actually going to settle this world almost entirely is the food shipments from the capital, so I'm not going to bother with that right now. We can use that dust for better things. So was that was a notification that the Academy has been found, right? Okay. Never mind. I was gonna say, if he's gonna blockade my stuff, that's gonna be a real problem for me. So, 10... It's expensive in terms of upkeep, but it will push us over into ecstatic. So, probably it's worthwhile. And then we're gonna need to expand. Okay, so Olvaldi is Mediterranean coal or gas, Mediterranean steppes. Was there a steppes world over here? No, this is snow and ice. Steppes is the other planet in our... No. Where did I see a steppes world? Over here, probably. Or nowhere, and I imagined it. That is also 100% possible. Dimitri's doing some fine work over here. Let's start getting the influence a little bit. Alright, we have enough to double the income from our food shipments, which I do think is worth doing. And since somebody found the Academy, we'll just go ahead and hit the curiosities over here. Get them figured out, see if we can get any free stuff. Molten Springs plus 50 science, not bad. That's a nice anomaly. And Talking world, another good one. And some XP for our scout. Not really that great, the XP. Alright, I don't know if I'm doing this right, but it feels okay. We're going to have multi-thread management soon. We have okay dust income, so we'll actually be able to use the buyout feature. Yeah. So it's a 3-point deposit, no, a 2-point deposit. And what about the Transvine over here? There's a 3 and a 1. Pretty bad. The 3, I mean, the 3 is fine, obviously. And over here, there's another 3. Okay. Steppes and Mediterranean are both pretty low in the science tree, right? There's steppes and this is Mediterranean? No, this is arid. Where's Mediterranean? There it is. Well, I mean, like, let's pick up some more ability to settle, right? Was the Mediterranean world the one with the resources? It's the one with the good Transvine deposit. It also has Molten Springs and Hyperion. This is a good world. It's a shame it's tiny. There are things about this world that are good, is what I mean to say. So we're going to need a settler ship. And we'll have you stay put for a turn. Okay. 115. Is there... It doesn't actually say anywhere just like the number of the amount of food that is needed in total, right? 47 times 5 is 235. So actually, it's only going to take a couple more deliveries to get us there. It's possible that that number was written on that screen somewhere and I'm just looking right past it. It's the sort of thing that happens. Okay, we found a little bit more influence, and eternal sunshine. All of our planets are producing more food. That's cool. That's a nice thing to have happen early. Alright, head back this way. Yeah, so Liesel should settle actually fairly soon, as long as nothing stupid happens and interrupts the deliveries. We'll have the ability to settle the Olvaldi system. I don't know, maybe I'm being overly optimistic, but this feels okay. So we don't really need the industrialists in charge right now. Hold on, this is a good time to look at the laws, though. 25 science per destroyed command point. But then it says 25 dust per opponent ship command point destroyed. So the fact that those are written differently leads me to think that they are not functionally identical, right? So does it mean 25 science per my command point destroyed? Like my ship's lost? Alright, what else would be good? Admit and improve is cool. The green fertility bill. Yeah, that's not bad. The industrialists are going to remain in charge, and actually I'm fine with that. Star Boogie bill is not a bad one, obviously. Movement points are cool. This is not that helpful. A lot of the... like, it's going to be scientists, probably, no matter what we do. I guess if we start this up now, we can eventually get to Dirty Hands Act. Sure, let's support them. Uh-oh. Okay, we do remain industrialists in charge. Yeah, I knew that. That is definitely a thing that I have known in the past. Okay, so actually, let's make 2 settler ships. We're gonna have a lot of colonies or outposts running at the same time. That's dangerous as far as food goes. Oh, we got your eukaryotic sap. That's why that world is suddenly settleable. Well, that's cool. It's cool that I didn't have to put any effort into that. So... I mean, I do love baryonic shielding. Do we have a Savannah world to settle? We don't. basically... Oh, no, never mind. Okay. I was going to say, baryonic shielding might allow us to set up over here real fast, and then, like, maybe build up enough of a foothold before whoever's over here finds that system, but no, never mind. Well, that being the case, do we prepare for war with Horatio? Possibly. We also want food. So epigenetic crop seeding is more food for people per person that is already on the world. That doesn't seem totally ideal. For the purposes of developing a world, you really just want some flat bonuses, right? So we could pick up planetary landscaping. We could also push for, like, xenology and efficient shielding quickly, just in order to unlock a new law slot, which would be pretty valuable. There's a lot of cool laws we could be running right now. Do I want to pick up botanical scanning then and just, like, just muddle through? Because it's not totally ideal, but it's not terrible. The spin project... Maybe we come back for it? Actually, those are probably in the wrong order. We don't even know where Horatio is yet. We're not ready. We're not exactly ready to kill him. But, like, let's build some ships quickly and see if we can't take a world off of him. Or take a system or two. We can cripple him while accelerating ourselves. That's something we probably need to do. Alright, so we'll go over here. We'll settle this. Alright, Hiroshims. I like a Hiroshim. Yeah. Okay, so wait a second. Where is... You know, we had a population loss. I guess it was the Pulsos. I kind of assumed that it would come from the base population by default, but that's a shame. This Pulsos would have been handy. Alright, Liesel is up. We don't quite have the money necessary to buy this out, but we can push it a little bit. We're going to need that food. Actually, I'm going to put drone networks ahead of the science. So we really could just use any amount of food, and obviously industry is always also great. Alright, her at least has a little bit of food. So again, it's mostly going to come down to deliveries. I'm not going to spend the dust, I don't think. It shouldn't take too long to get that set. I guess we'll start work on this. I'm not too worried about finishing it right this second, but let's get some industry devoted to it while we try to figure out what Horatio's deal is. Because obviously we are going to need the dust. Alright, this is just a scout ship. So we know it has energy weapons, but you need to keep going. There we go. Okay, there's neutrals over here. Alright, actually, now that we have botanical scanning, I'm probably gonna slide those food buildings in here. Here, where we've already got a little bit of a population developed, epigenetic crop seeding actually should be very powerful. And I think I am going to buy this out as soon as it's available. Just give ourselves a little bit of a head start on developing that world. Yeah, the deliveries are doing a lot of work. Okay, so these guys are remnants. The remnant bonus is not awesome, but you know what is awesome? A system. Let's actually just let's go pretty deep on this. They'll help us out with dust and manpower as well, both of which are going to be Both of which are going to be important in the coming war. We rush this. Actually, I maybe overdid it there, huh? Because now we're going to have to pay upkeep costs and stuff. Yeah, that's actually kind of a problem. Well, how long until these guys start giving us stuff? It's actually not going to be that many turns. There's no curiosities to search here, so we can't get any free influence from that. And I have no idea which direction Horatio's in, so I'm going to send a probe one way and then go the other way. I guess we'll send the probe up, and we will go down. Okay, it looks like Horatio's up, but I actually do want to know what is in both directions. Alright, so we do need these guys to come through a little bit, that's all. How's Dimitri doing? He's actually still fairly far from a level. That's a shame. When he levels, we'll be able to pick up some dust from him. He has a first tier skill that will be relevant in our situation. So do we want to let this complete before we start the next thing? Because I don't actually want there to be food deliveries coming out of Liesel. So I think I'm gonna have this just sit and wait for a moment. Alright, we discovered Horatio Prime. We also discovered a system with a habitable world that has some pretty great stuff on it. Well, I mean, we have to take that, right? Yeah, I think so. Let's finish the food building here. Okay, these guys are going to flip 2 turns from now, so we will still have dust. Okay, we see he's settled beyond, but he's kind of stymied. He can't really go this way without settling in a non-contiguous way that makes him vulnerable to his stuff being separated. So let's just shoot a probe off that way. We'll flee if we get attacked or anything, but I want to try to find all of the stuff that is on this end of the constellation. Alright, her is very close. I'm going to wait, though. Let me know if you actually have already figured out like the optimal settling math and stuff for a situation like this. I'm curious what the best way to use our food is, because I'm nervous about over shipping, straining our population too much. Okay, so these guys... Hey, look, Pulsos. Alright, I'm going to do the same thing there. So we actually have pretty good influence income already. I'm pretty happy about that. You know what? We'll run through Horatio's territory. I'm sure he'll get cross with us, but he does not know the half of it yet, huh? So do I want to do this? Like, we need more dust. Plus 5 per sterile. So it's going to be, right now it's going to be 5 dust plus 10 more dust. That's a significant amount. I want to pick up 6 more influence per turn, but we might need the dust to make sure that everything's okay for a little while here. Yeah, that's... Oh, it's only 10 though, because it's worlds that you haven't colonized don't provide. Still, I think that was probably right. I think so. Okay, let's have a look at Horatio's ships. What do we see? We see nothing. But we know that his explorer ship has energy weapons, the one we saw earlier. So maybe we go off of the assumption that we want to have shielding instead of armor. And then we'll just guess, I don't know, bullets? What do you think? If he has energy shielding, is he more likely to have energy weapons? I don't actually know. What about, can we see Reaver ships? Like, anything that gives me an idea of which way would be best to go. These ships don't have any defenses to speak of. Okay. Well, I guess we'll just leave them how they are. Sorry, we won't leave them how they are. We will absolutely plug in another weapon module. Yeah, okay. So I think we're going to build some, obviously, is the reason I'm doing this. Yeah. So let's make a quick bunch of Corvettes here. This is going to turn into a colony next turn. So that's when we'll put down our next outpost. So like I said, I don't want to strain things too much. That is a lot of time. Does it make more sense to pick up like PEV scale accelerators so that we can build the magnetic field generator and accelerate our science a little bit more first? Yeah, maybe. Alright, maybe this is like weirdly aggressive, but I think it's worth trying. Let's learn some stuff, huh? And if I get killed by Horatio, well, so be it. This is the way of things. Cold and uncaring universe. Okay, Horatio just stole those guys right out from under us. I'm actually really surprised that he was able to pull off that assimilation so quickly. That's fine, we're gonna have to take that world the other way, you know? You know what I'm saying. Calgaros. We just picked up Calgaros. Calgaros like to be on fertile worlds, so this is a bad place for them. Alright, are we in a place where... No, it's going to be 40 Transvine, right? Yeah, okay, I'm not too worried about it yet. I'm not locking it in yet because I'm not 100% sure. You know, things could change. There could be some kind of reason that we want to end up putting something else in as our resource. So I'm not going to set it until we're actually ready to start using it. Alright, but here's some more Transvine. So speed things up a little bit. We need... Yeah, it's going to be food deliveries again, like... We just need to wait a turn or two to have enough influence. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, I think it's a good start, right? I'm a little nervous about settling Oshi. If we settle Oshi, I'm sure that it will be a problem. Ooh. Huh, why did we discover that? So we discovered the planet Vale here. And we discovered the planet Auriga there. Huh. I don't know why that suddenly appeared. What I do know is that Auriga is a pretty good world output-wise. Look at that. Yeah, 16, 19, 7. What are the systems in this, what are the planets in this system? Lava, lava, desert, ice? Maybe we just pick up baryonic shielding and head over there? If we could snatch that system, like double lava planets, give us the industry necessary to build something, and, yeah. Maybe that's a sensible thing to do. I honestly have no idea. I do really want to pick up these medium-sized ships, though. Like, completely overwhelming another player and removing him from the game sounds pretty okay to me. Okay, let's search this world and see if it's worth coming over here for. More Red Sang and Transvine. Huh. A group of archaeologists from your expedition party have come to you with a bizarre report. They claim to have seen a ghostly airship made of balloons and solar panels. You're initially skeptical, but one of your historians insists that the airship matches the mythical description of Hos, an ancient endless who watched from the skies as her home planet Kairos was converted to dust. How did she get over here? So if we create an outpost on this planet, we'll get access to the obelisk of remembrance. That is a good thing. I like that thing. Okay, and we'll get this, I'm sure. Slingshot, we know that studying the effect leads to an industry boost for our systems, so let's do that. So what's the story with Vale? Wow, Vale has some serious... Wow, that's a good world. Okay, Horatio. You are too juicy not to pick. So here's a question. How likely am I to be able to just invade a world and take it over with just the manpower on small ships? Especially since I'm not actually producing enough manpower to fill the ships. That's a concern. Well, I guess I'm going to be glad I have all this food eventually. We need those A2S slugs. We also need to have a source of Hyperium. Or a source of titanium, rather. Okay, yeah. Plus 15 industry on all of our colonies. Actually, like, overjoyed about that right at this moment. These guys are helping us out a little bit now. That's manpower and dust, both things we need. We need a lot more manpower than we're getting here, though. Alright, Liesel. Liesel is actually already filled up. Oh, yeah, we got 2 free points of population. That probably has something to do with it. So it has a moon, meaning magnetic field generators are actually meaningful here. We don't really need the food, except that food gets us manpower, some amount of manpower. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the right thing to do is. I do know that I totally spaced on the fact that we got a lost lot. So we have 11 citizens, meaning we could be running 22. Yeah, this would still have us positive on influence. And building stuff cheaper seems pretty good. Expanded Defenders of the Realm Decree. That's not a bad idea either, but let's do this for now. Let's lower the cost of the stuff that we are building. Alright. Because we can sit in orbit around a world and reduce its defense value, right? He has tanks already? Ugh. That's not great. Okay, yeah, this system's been not growing because it's been shipping off all of its food forever. Alright, let's figure this out. Okay, antimatter, that's a cool thing to have. So is Origa actually in our constellation? It looks like it might be. Right, this could be a node right here. I'm not sure what we can do. How many of these ships are actually fully manned? 100, 100, 51, and 40. Okay, ships that are fully manned have a pretty significant damage bonus. It's like 20% or something. So, it would be cool if the answer to my question was all of them, but as it stands, we really are not producing manpower fast enough for that to be the case. So are we just going to declare on Horatio? Like, how expensive is that actually?
Your contact with us brings more...
232. Okay. I might need to cut my law. Yeah, actually, we should probably do that, because I also need to swap some things up. We got a couple of turns of reduced cost. Actually, let's make sure this finishes first. Is that a sensible concern to have? Right now we're outputting 46. Doesn't actually show us how much is left to do. Yeah, let's make sure that finishes. Get a little bit of a rollover stored up, and then we'll fix this. So we're doing okay on dust because remember, this gives us some dust every time we complete a building. So while we've been at a deficit for quite some time, it's not actually as bad as it might seem. But I think we probably need to not be at a deficit, and also we need to actually be bringing in influence. That is not a warship. But he has warships. Right, he must have access to some okay warships. Because we know he has tanks, which means he's up the military quarter of the tree, at least somewhat. Alright, so you're about to population cap, actually. Still, 5 industry. After we pick up applied cryogenics, we really need to get back on settling tech. Let's go over here and prevent him from taking that system. Alright, 19 turns it says, but each delivery is like 9 turns. And we have 2 en route. So yeah, that should be settled pretty quickly. Alright, these guys are giving us 100 manpower per turn now. We definitely cannot afford to praise them if we're thinking about war. And like right now, I'm sure, we declare, he builds a bunch of ships and totally wrecks my little group of ships. So we probably don't want to declare right this second. I think this thing where we choke out one of his colonies is probably a pretty good move.
Doubt your motives.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a very sensible thing to do, Horatio. Minus 20 science on systems with plus 30 industry is strong. I hate losing all that science. What's our total science output right now? 151. So we'd lose 60? Oh, that is ugly. That said, a lot of industry is nice, and also we can't really afford to lose all this dust. Yeah, that's not great, but I think the industry is going to be valuable. We should probably build magnetic field generators here as well. So you guys actually would be doing better work over here. How much does that change things? Lowers our science a little bit more, raises our industry. Okay. We don't need the dust as badly as we need the science to get done faster, I think. Alright, and now we're producing a little bit more manpower. It does suck a little bit to have, Oh, hey, hi. How you doing? Yeah, you can go ahead and leave. We got this under control. Really, even with us blockading it, it must just have enough food on it. It's a desert. Huh. Well, I guess we'll see if that number changes.
Your offensiveness drives Horatio to anger and...
Well, it doesn't look like it's doing anything. What are you so mad about? Do we want to put the militarists back in charge? Do we want to push for the militarists to be back in charge? I don't really have, like, a huge amount of control here. Maybe, because, honestly... Okay, pacifist, this is not the right time. This is a bad time for you. Because, honestly, we want to get that, yeah, he's just going to be able to finish his thing anyway. Man. Rough. Okay, so yeah. This is not great. exploring curiosities for him is maybe not the best play. Let's try to move on to places where he doesn't yet have colonies establishing. So he's spreading out really quickly, though, which should weaken him, right? Like, us spreading out this quickly has had kind of a negative effect on our population growth, so it's got to count for something. Let's make this an exoscience station, I guess, for now, because these food buildings are not going to have a huge effect here. Actually, this system is content. It probably would be better for us to do this. 71% moves us up into the next bracket, so... I'm probably not really accomplishing anything. I mean, this is a blockade. It's slowing that colony down, at least. We can declare now. But I don't know if it's... I really wanted to be closer to having applied cryogenics done. That event landing when it did really hurt. We certainly couldn't afford to lose the dust, but... this is a real bummer. So we need 120-ish food. We have a delivery landing next turn with 92 in it, and there's another one on the way. Yeah, so that'll be done soon, which means Beatrice will be back to actually having growth. And then once we're growing... yeah, I think it's getting real close to wartime here. Maybe we should build another set of ships after the magnetic field generator. Because the dust is not super important right this second. So 4 turns to 4 ships, and that's true even if we put the ships down first. No, we can't. I was gonna say we could try to rush some of this and get the second fleet done sooner, but we actually can't. We have to have enough influence to declare. All right. Well, he's got ionic crystals. I don't even know what those do. But this is like 4 food per person. I think we want the transvine. I think it might actually be time to consider that. Because, like, are we ecstatic in the home system? We are not. And we could be. We could be very easily. Yeah, alright. It's probably time to commit on this. So if I throw this at the beginning of the queue, that does slow our fleet down by 1 turn. But the extra resource output from being happy... it's extra food and it's extra influence. But we don't need the ships right this second. We're not like going to lose a colony or anything. Okay, we'll send a probe down that way. And I guess... also, just kind of out into the dark. I don't want to explore curiosities, I think, on his worlds. Let's make him do his own dirty work. If we can make his life difficult enough, maybe they'll still be there when we get there with our colony ships. Alright, well, unfortunately, I think this is going to have to be it for today. So come back next time. I am on very unsure footing here as far as, like, super early war goes. But we might have a chance. Come back next time to see if we do, and we'll see you then.